everyone wants to disrupt. Education is such a traditional space. You have to respect that.
皆さんこんにちは。世界のスタートアップ情報を発信するスタートアップバックパッカーです。今回の動画ではインドでかなり成長している教育系のスタートアップをインタビューします。この企業はインドの学校向けにいろんな教育のデジタルソリューションを提供していて、例えば床にプロジェクターで画面を作って、でその床でいろんなゲームをして生徒たちが遊びながら学べるようなプロダクトとかも作っています。他にも生徒たちが家に帰った後に学べるようなアプリの提供だとか、あとは先生が生徒の情報とかを管理するためのサービスだとか、親とコミュニケーションを取るためのソフトウェアとか、そういう本当にもういろんなサービスを提供している企業になります。でそれをどうやってやってるかみたいなところが非常にポイントなので、ぜひ見ていただきたいのと、あとはインドはかなり人口も多いので教育の市場もかなり大きいです。でその市場にどう入り込んでいるのかみたいなところの戦略が非常に面白いので、そこもかなり参考になる点だと思います。ぜひ最後までご視聴ください。So now I'm with the co-founder of Youth Kids Learning, Amit.
So we started our journey in June 2017, and the idea was how can we create a school focused platform where we can create an impact inside the classrooms, because we believe inside a classroom, if you can make life easier for a teacher and student, you will be creating a much larger impact compared to say going directly to a student at home. So we started this journey thinking of textbooks at the centerpiece in print form, digital content that the teacher can use inside a classroom, and add on top of it supplemental skills that students can explore and develop at home. Whenever you look at any young kid, and if he or she is facing a problem at home, when talks to the parent or to a tutor, will always remind what was taught inside the classroom. That means whatever was done in the classroom becomes the start point. So we said if we can integrate what is happening in classroom and at home, you're making life easier for everyone. India, connectivity in classrooms is still developing. So the print textbook becomes the fallback option for reinforcement, whereas digital content is used inside a classroom for explaining important concepts, for example. On top of it, for each subject, and I'll just take example, say English over here. English means not only learning the language, how can you improve your spoken part? So we partnered with a Finnish company called Sanako, integrated their pronunciation software for students so that at home students can improve their pronunciation. So for each subject, we have taken that approach. For young kids which are in nursery, LKG, our approach has been for each subject, look at what the regulatory requirement is to learn and can you add new age skills related to that subject. Computer science, can you have a gamified coding platform along with it? So you're taking care of both parts.
So you really have many sorts of education apps, content for many subjects from K to 12. I know more about who are your main clients are.
So when we started our journey, we said we'll focus on premium schools in India. Going down in the pyramid, which is to mid-premium schools, becomes easier because you have reference points of the premium schools. And we started moving into the affordable school space. Huge market. We have 300 million studying whether in school or college.
I really wanted to know how the education landscape has changed.
Sure. So I would say at home, COVID had a very different impact compared to in school. India was the place where schools were shut for the longest in the world, 18 months.
Wow.
Imagine kids at home. Because kids were at home, parents were very uncomfortable because there were hardships, economic hardships also at that time. And parents were thinking about, can I pay to a direct to consumer tech company because there's nothing much happening at a school. Prior to COVID, technology or digital adoption had its own challenges, I would say. But everyone had to try technology because of COVID. Post-COVID, schools have realized that technology has its advantages. Now you can adopt in one way or the other, but can solve problems. Earlier, they were hesitant to try technology. So now schools are looking at meaningful technology interventions. And if you look at from a teacher's point of view, what does a teacher want? Can I save time? Because all teachers are hard pressed for time. So we said we give a platform where learning content to communication to parents, to run a class, everything can come at one place. Otherwise, everyone has been, for a virtual class, there is a different app. For a fees payment, there is a different app. Communicating to parents is happening somewhere else. Content is residing on any LMS. Everything is disjointed. Makes life difficult for a teacher or a parent because multiple, and then you cannot have a dashboard to see what's happening because of one action. What does it mean for other activities? So we got everything together. That was our learning because of COVID.
So the school and the parents would be able to see what's going on with the kid. And okay, I was also curious about how you were actually able to scale this much. I know doing sales to schools, for example, is not easy, right?
Sure.
I mean,
anyway, see, let's take a step back. What does everyone want? if you're making my life easy, I'm willing to listen to you. Can you give me relevant products or solutions, not only from a sales point of view, support them later from after sales, hand holding teachers, and are you solving a need? In our case, whatever you see over here is only a small fraction, where a school can say, I only want this English for grade 8 student. We are fine. We don't go and say you take everything, only then your life will change. We give them that choice, just like a Lego set, because each school will have very different thinking process. Second, if you can give them option of continuity from in classroom to at home. Now, certainly when you're talking to your parents as a school, you're saying whatever is being learned at school gets extended to at home. Big relief for parents. Otherwise, that's where everyone struggles. A kid will come back home and say, in maths factors, I'm struggling. And if you start explaining in a different style, probably the kid will say, hold on, this is how I was taught in the classroom, and then try to solve my problem. Till now, everyone has been looking at these two as different silos. That is what we have tried to do in schools and appreciate it.
So for your future goals, are you looking into going for public schools and other schools in India as well?
We have just done a tie-up for one very large intervention.
Oh, okay.
45,000 schools.
Wow.
For a assessment. 2.5 million students. That rolls out in April. Another very big part is looking at interesting solutions that can be taken to via our distribution channel. We talk to 30,000 schools today, out of which 10,000 schools are clients. So that schools get that convenience of multiple options from the same player, because there is a trust. And if UPS is bringing, say, a product from Japan, that distribution engine is already established. Only thing is, product has to be localized or customized from an Indian point of view.
Very, very interesting. I did some research and partner with a lot of companies overseas as well and bring them into India. So how do you actually partner with these other companies?
It's a exclusive partnership. Multi-year would be 7 to 10 year kind of partnership. The product would be either co-branded. So we don't want to claim that it's our product. Unless until with the partner we see there is a need to white label it.
What would be like an interesting content from Japan?
So I think there is a lot of interesting stuff happening across on AR/VR. There could be virtual labs, for example, for doing experiments. Because in India, if you have 400,000 private schools, setting up a lab to do science experiments has capital constraints too. We got some inbound for Japanese language learning to be taken to schools. And there are a lot of interesting companies in Japan which are working on in this space. We would love to talk, understand, and see if there is a possible area of collaboration. We get a lot of inbound requests, because of probably we are the only company in the space which is doing partnerships.
That's actually very interesting, and I'm just wondering why your company was the only one who could actually do this, and is this the secret sauce for like being able to win at this? It's a competitive market.
Sure.
EdTech is
a secret sauce. That's why it's called secret, right? It's not. It's never. So partnerships is one. Second, I would say if you understand the problem that you're trying to solve, which is inside classroom. Inside classroom will not be solved with capital alone. So even if you have large amount of capital, that behavior change because it's a 12-month cycle. So you have to be patient, committed, because the annual calendar of a school will remain as is. That means the assessments will only happen as many times. Second is, can you look at the ecosystem and work inside out? Everyone wants to disrupt. Education is such a traditional space. You have to respect that and work inside out incrementally year on year. Only then you'll be able to create a very large sustainable model.
So it's a long process.
You have to be committed.
I guess it's all about understanding their needs and their tradition too.
Work along with it. Not come across antagonizing, threatening, or saying you have to change everything.
What do you think are the future of like the EdTech startup ecosystem here in India?
So I think a lot of COVID-induced demand. But if you see in the last 12 months, everyone has been talking about hybrid. Hybrid is a very broad term, right? Hybrid could be 10% physical, 90% digital, or 90% physical, 10% digital. But this will keep on evolving according to the ecosystem. We don't say we are a digital company or a print company. Because then that itself is a fallacy. Because then you start looking at everything from that form factor. I'm a digital company, then suddenly print I don't even think about. From day one we said form factor will always come later.
Do you think in the future it'll be almost fully digitized or no? Do you think hybrid will always be here?
Okay, let's look at developed economies. A US, South Korea or Japan. Is everything fully digital?
No, definitely not.
That's my answer. Print will, rather than this thick, will become disclaimer, will solve one purpose.
So what would be your future goals?
So we are looking at more acquisitions so that add more like-minded entrepreneurs coming together.
I see.
Every year we
Mhm.
calibrate our ambition.
Mhm.
How much will we grow next year?
Are you looking into like a global market?
We have started working in Sri Lanka, Nepal, Middle East.
Mm.
So the idea is, first of all, look at geographies which are very similar and start from in classroom.
If you have any like connections or information you'd be looking for, especially in Japan, it'd be really nice.
If you would like to partner with someone for Indian schools,
Mm.
you have relevant content, relevant solutions, more than happy to talk, understand. If nothing else, we'll be able to share more about what Indian schools are, give you some details about that. Very happy and open to explore possible collaborations.
And would you be looking for any other like investors or?
At a startup, investors are always welcome.
Okay.
Lovely talking to you. Thanks for reaching out.
Thank you so much, sir.
And look forward that there's something that happens post this.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. 今回もかなり興味深い内容でした。今回の起業家はなぜ起業して、かなり多くの学校数にもソフトウェアを導入できたのかでいうと、自社のプロダクトも作りつつ、海外の教育系のサービスとかも取り込んでパートナーシップを組んで、各学校に合ったサービスを提供しているというところが非常にポイントでした。いろんな国のいろんな企業のサービスを、で、それを代わりに営業するみたいな形で、総合的なソリューションを提供することで、利益を出しているというような、非常に面白いビジネスモデルでした。日本もそういう教育のデジタル化を進めるようなサービスが学校向けに提供できたりすると本当にいいんですけど、なかなか改革が難しいっていうポイントあったりするので、そこもいつか変わるといいなと私は思いますし、デジタル化を通じて楽しく勉強するみたいなことが今後もできるようになると、面白いのじゃないかなと思います。教育でのデジタルサービス活用方法、いろいろあると思います。視聴者の皆さんはどんなアイデアが浮かびますか？こういった面白い海外スタートアップ情報をたくさん流しておりますので、ぜひチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。